Hello. So I'm just I figured out last night why I am short that piece of paper. I used that one paper from Little Dreamers that had the months. I didn't have it this time. So that is why I ended up short. What I'm going to do is just pick another one from the 12 by 12 collection, and I think I'm going to use the polka dots. If you remember, I told you I'd be using that bonus sheet, that 12 by 12. Well, I don't have it. So I'm going to go ahead and take, it says Cheers, out of a collection kit, and I am going to use that in place of the Little Dreamers that had the months. And that should take care of why I was short a piece of paper. That one was from another. And there, I feel better. So I thought I was going, well, I am crazy. What can I say? Okay, we are going to just keep working this morning. Hi, Christina. And sorry about last night, but we got the email and my project was due. And there's a big event coming up with Barely Art Glue that you guys are going to be able to get. I believe, I want to say they're free tickets. I'm not 100% sure, but I think they are. And so Country Craft Creations is participating. And I had to get photos of my project, which I'm using Gingerbread Village, and I had to get it done. And yesterday, man, I got so behind, and then Lexi was doing our commercial, and she's like, I want to just I want to go crazy right now. And I said, welcome to my world, but it's a great world, right? Okay, now we can get back to the fun stuff. We're going to start with the waterfall that I left off, which was on page 2, the front. And for that waterfall, I'll put this over here. I had said to cut, which I did not get cut, so we're going to cut them together. And that's the nice thing about this. There's no major deadlines. I believe I told you 3.5 by 3.5. Let's move the mouse so we don't have any problems there. And I believe it was 7 3.5 by 3.5. Yes. 7. So I will now get those cut. Set that aside for a moment. And what I'm doing is going to gather all these pieces apart. Oh, for my linen cardstock. And I'll get those cut. So I hope everybody's having, so far, a wonderful Friday. Fridays are nice. Needed my garbage can. Okay, 3.5 by 3.5. And let's cut 7 of those. That won't work. Lay them out so I don't have to recount. And then I'm going to cut this piece, and that makes 4. That's a good one to keep. Yeah, I didn't even think to get this all cut. I kind of switched into high gear yesterday. And I'm using the brown. Oh, I didn't want to throw that away. Cardstock with it. And you guys, I can't get enough of this brown cardstock. I do love the linen, but man, I'm loving that brown. So I can't wait to find out what new colors we can get for the new year, because you're going to love it too. Get some more light on here. There we go. Okay, we're going to score, of course, on the 3.5 inch side at 1/2 inch. And let me just get some, I'm sorry about all the interruptions. I got to quit laughing too. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to go ahead and score at 3. Let me know how you like it. I actually have gone through my stack making projects because I am loving it. Okay, I'm going to score this last one, and I'm going to have you guys keep scoring, and we can talk for just a minute. I have to find something. Nobody bothers me when I'm not online. Minute I get online, they need something. So sorry. I have to grab something. Whoops. I hope I didn't just knock this off. There we go. When the bookkeeper needs some information, I have to give him some information. He was supposed to do this Monday, not Friday, when I'm having a tutorial. Okay, let's just burnish all of our score lines. Nice thing about these waterfalls, they're really easy to mat. After we put it together. So we're going to start with our first one, hinge to my left, and I did put it right to the top of my matting. That's how we're going to keep it straight. Don't miter your corners. You want them to be square. And I do need to mat the insides of the one I've already made, you know, the 1/2-inch strips. So I want to keep that straight. Now, however you find easiest, I'm going to turn mine away from myself. So when I'm putting this down, then I'll be able to check my alignment before I burnish down the glue. So I want to keep aligned at the top. And of course, I want to keep my waterfalls aligned. But I'm using the matting for my guide. Okay, then you should end up almost to that edge of your matting. Okay, and then we'll mat those at the end with our, you know, leftovers. And of course, this, I'm going to put this on cardstock to make it heavier. And I did that just with the 65-pound matting cardstock. Put the bow on, and then that's what's going to hold your waterfalls closed. Hi, Diane. Okay, so we are now caught up with that. Now we're going to get, these guys are matting inside there. And that's where, if you just joined, I explained when I first started, I had mentioned I took the months, the baby months, and I'm using, I had that extra sheet, and that's why I was off, because it was the back of the covers. No, it was the back of the mugs. Excuse me. So what I've done is I've just pulled this out of a 12 by 12 and pack, and I'm going to go ahead and use that in place of the month. So now I have the same amount of cardstock, and that's why I was thinking, man, I'm losing it here. So now this is where, remember, don't cut this one. We're going to use that one for our little squares we had created. So right now I'm getting out these scraps. We're going to be using them for our pockets. And I'll use that 12 by 12. Hi, Diane. Diane, who helped you with the order? Was it me or was it Christina? Oh, it says message retracted. Okay, well, you must have been talking to her. Okay, so I will be using this somewhere. And I'm going to really try not to make boo-boos. So this piece, I don't have that one anymore. This is where, and for this, it's not like a big deal, if that makes sense. So we're just going to take the pieces that we have left, and that's what we're going to use in these, because we've already put everything basically everywhere we need it. So, oh yes, and we got that all taken care of. That's right. So what I'm going to do is, like I said, I'm not going to worry too much about which ones went, because we put photo mounts on them. And I hope that's okay with you guys. Right now, all I want is I don't want to cut that, because that one is one that we'll use. I think we use it a few other places for matting. But we want to grab whatever we have that is 4 by 6. Okay. Again, I'm just double checking that nothing was used that we have to use. And actually, not a problem, because what I'm going to do is let's have the flowers showing. And let's just go ahead and cut that at 6. So it will look a little different, this one, than my original. So instead of my zigzags, I'm just going to use the floral. And then I will use the other half for inside here, and we'll come back and do our matting and different things. Okay, so just so you know, it is going to look a little bit different, but it's not going to nobody's going to even notice. Okay, now our next one, and I might be doing some moving around because I just realized I had put it here. So we might be doing some moving around. We may not. It's really hard even to tell what pieces went where, as you guys know, because it's all so much the same. But this one definitely is this top one. So score there, right? We got one that kind of matches. So I'm going to cut this one at 3 inches because it's already 6. And then one thing that I have noticed with these 49 Market is 3 by 4s. I had to, okay, let's put this one here so it matches. Cut them down to about 2 7/8. See, they get pretty tight. So you decide if you want to cut yours down. But yeah, it gets a little bit tight. I'm just going to take that 1/16 of an inch off. Still a little tight, but that's okay. And this is where I am going to go ahead and, whoops, wrong book. I'm going to switch these out. Now this one, not really upside down, is there? Nope. Okay. Now this one, I have more of a match. The back, this is where I added florals. The flower's a little different, but no problem there at all. I'm going to put this one back where it goes. Oh, I can't put it back yet. I'm just grabbing those 4x6s that fit. Yeah, flip that over. And this one goes in front of those little 3x3 flip ups that we created. So that one will go inside of there. And our next one is your 6x8. And this one is the one that I used, the 65-pound matting cardstock. And this came from packaging, but because I had a little bit of this left, I am going to be able to use it. This is a little bit darker, and it will come off the matting of your, let me grab those. I think it comes off the matting of, not the matting, but the packaging of your words. And I picked up the words today, and I don't know where I put them. Hey, and I don't feel bad. Hi, Jelaine, because I've had phone calls for orders, and they tell me, Tammy, I'm just like that. I don't know where I put my stuff. And I was like, see, I am not so bad after all. Okay, we're going to cut a white piece of our matting cardstock that we use for the 65 pounds. And I did cut mine at 8 1/4 because our envelopes are longer. And I hate when it's too short. And I used, okay, the only reason I used the 65 pound is when I was creating this one for the sample. It's all I had left. So if you feel that you want to use a heavier cardstock, you can. You can use anything you like. I'm using that for sure. Now I cut, if you're using, so if you should have kept all your packaging from the words, from the, what are they called, guys? Well, we're going to want this. So let me get out my packaging. To be honest, I don't remember what's behind our laser cuts. Let's open our laser cuts real quick. If that's the one, I'll use it. Well, you're in for a treat, Carol, because be prepared. I really do know what I'm doing sometimes. I just can't find stuff half the time. And we are kind of creating with leftovers. Okay. Oh, that's right. We're going to be fussy cutting these frames from our laser cut elements. We'll fussy cut. And that's where I was like, okay, we're going to make our own frames. And we'll be doing that too. We use all of this. So this is all going to be used. This becomes photo mat spots. So I'm going to just take that out so I have it handy. And that means the wood grain must have come off of our words. It will come off of those chipboard words because I know little celebrations. I mean, the rub-ons. This is where I created those little cards. And the rub-ons, which we're going to use a lot of these, they do have a plain back to show you. They did not print on the back, but they did print on the front of this one, and this is where I took off those little cards, and I use these for cards, tags, or journal spots. Okay, so the wood grain, if you're out, you can use the packaging from your words. That I have put somewhere, but they'll show up. They're between here and my work spot. And then we'll have these, and this is another piece of packaging that's usable. But I have that wood grain, so I'm going to go ahead and use my wood grain piece of paper to cut my little tuck pocket down here at the bottom. And I'll give you a measurement here in just a second. Hi, Annie, and everyone that just popped in. So we've got a 2 by 6. You'll want your tape again. Yes, I'm looking for the wood grain. And I put it back in the thing, I'll bet. I sure did. I'm hoping this is 6 inches long. And it is. All right. I like to have a tuck pocket inside my pockets. Inside of the plastic. And it keeps everything just nice and neat. So I'm going to put this down first, and then we're going to use our cloth tape here. So I'll glue the 2 short sides and along the bottom. Is this one I wrapped? Yes, it is. Okay, so see this 12-inch border strip of the cloth? We're just going to wrap this all the way around. I didn't even cut it. See, it's 12 inches, so we're going to be able to wrap it. It's sticky, but I still use my adhesive here. I'm going to turn it upside down so I can keep it straight. There we go. Flush with the top. Annie, that's exciting. You made 2 this month and you're a newbie. Hey, now you're addicted for life. That's all I can say. Because I know that's me. The more I can make, and yet a lot of people will start asking, well, what are you going to do with them? You know what? It makes me happy to make them, so I don't care what I do with them. But they're nice because you're if you start making a lot and it makes you happy, that's all that matters. But then somebody will come along, like my granddaughter who went to Hawaii, and she'll say, do you have an album I can put my Hawaii pictures in? And well, of course. Don't let people tell you it's an expensive hobby because they're not your friends. No, just, I'm serious. You know, it has been said that you are to keep your hands busy. Turn that off. And keeping our hands busy is very important. Because then it keeps us home. It keeps us out of everybody else's business, right? That, in fact, I just had this talk with a family member. It's like you need to really find something that makes you happy, keeps you busy, and then you won't worry about what's going on around you. We'll be making a photo mat here with what you want to use for your backgrounds. This was also cut from our rub-ons, and then I just snipped the corners and made 2 tags. Great for journaling. Now on the back, we want to turn it over. We've already got it on the top, and we're going to put another piece on the bottom. And I had those 2 pieces left over. Let me grab them. Or I had a couple. One, it was a smaller one because we cut it in the beginning. And you can cut it down to whatever size you want. We cut that strip on that very, on that little half page. So I'm just going to go with what it is. Carol, you know what? It's the same thing with cards. And I'm going to have to show you guys this because I do like to make cards. And yes, and you do use your math skills. I have this box because when we were putting the flooring down in my craft room, I had to move all my shelving, and I opened it, and there's got to be at least 100 to 200 cards I've made. And you know, I need to start sending them now because I had forgotten about them. And I'll make cards. I don't really do a lot of card tutorials, but I make them and I use them and I forget about them. But when I just want something to keep me occupied in my brain, not having to think about construction, I'll make cards. Or if I can't sleep or something. But it does. It has a lot of, you know what it does? It has a lot of mental health. What is it called? It helps. It really does. And they have done studies that crafting does help our mental health. So see, don't listen to anybody else. Now I'm going to do this right now. I'm going to cut. So this came off of our laser cuts. What I did is I cut this apart at the bottom because I just loved. It does have the baby, Rockabye Baby on it, but you won't notice it once we put, which I don't know why they did that. Those are what became the backing for this. Well, if you do the albums like you're doing Annie, you have leftovers. You can make cards with your leftovers. So see, you still can do both. I'm going to actually cut this down to 3x3. Let me double check if there was a reason I made it a little bit shorter. No, there wasn't. I don't know what I did, but I'm cutting it 3x3. So what I'm going to do is put this in the cutter. We will use this, so do not dispose of it. goes this way. Take just a tiny, tiny, tiny bit off so they match. Then it's super thick, so it shreds a little. Oh, it looks crooked to me. Nope, it's not. From now through December, you have 20 birthdays? Oh my. See, we're that way March through May. We have not quite that many, but we have a lot of birthdays March through May. And I now found the cards, so I'm done. For once, I'm ahead. I forgot I'd put that in that. It's one of those pretty, boxes you get at Michael's or somewhere when they have all their boxes on sale. And I'm so happy I found them. We will put the white matting here in just a bit. And then the tab. So if you have, I've had this forever. I don't even know the brand. I mean, I've had it for about 12 years. Any of the, or you can use the ones that came with your album. If you want to use the one that came with your album, that's good too. But I'm going to use this one. I like to do it with the cardstock because it's heavy. So I'll start by cutting 2. I'll be making more. Like I said, you can use the ones that came with the kit. One thing to do that I need to get back in the habit is with all your leftover paper that you just cannot use for cards or anything. See, I used to go through and punch this when I had more time. And I also had my granddaughter do it at the time. She just loved it. She was 6. She would just punch all this or flower petals and put them in a box for me. So if you ever find you're just sitting in front of the TV and you can punch some, you'll find these are pretty handy little things to have. That is so cool, Carol. Wow, that is neat. 110. Are they going to be all the same or are they different? Yeah, and it's nice to make cards that match if you're going to be given your album as a gift. Okay, so we have our tab down and I put it on that right hand corner. Just going to overlap onto the cloth tape. While we have it out, we'll go ahead and cut because we have that 6-inch piece from cutting our page. We'll go ahead and mat these so they'll be done with our white matting cardstock. And again, this is the back or the inside of our laser cuts. Okay. Then I'm just eyeballing, off centering here. We will add some balloons once we get into the decorating stage. And those we cut 3 by 3. That's really cool. And that's good that they're all the same. Because all the same is good. Okay, hubby's at the post office. Sorry, we just got to check. Okay. So these are going to be 2 3/4 by 2 3/4. You'll find when working with 49 a Market, it's heavy, so you get a lot of, it's like when you sew on flannel in the sewing machine, you get lots of fuzzies. Okay, you're going to put those right on top. Oh, that's right. Monday is, do they go to school on Monday, Diane? I know with our Columbus Day, our kids go to school. They used to go to school on Columbus Day because I remember being mad. My parents for civil service, they would always get it off while we kids had to go to school. And my mom was like, we would beg to stay home with her. She's like, no, no way, go to school. And I don't blame her. It was their day to enjoy. Okay, for this side, let's go ahead and let's get that made and it will be done. So, like I said, remember, I don't have that pink anymore. Oh, well, that is nice. In Utah, I think they go to school. I'm going to cut a 5.5 by 3.5. And I'm going to check some scraps on one more package here. I just don't think I have anything that big. Oh, I have a blue of that color. Oh, that's not going to be. It might be. Nope, just a hair short. Tan it is. Oh, he turns 5. Well, tell him happy birthday. So this is the back of that cover sheet. We're going to go 5.5 by 3.5. So this is going to be 4 3/4. Oh, nope, it's going to be 5 by 3. Our white will be 5 by 3. It is a 49. They did a baby line with it also, Carol. And it was little dreamers, but they combined it with what they call little celebrations. So we did a little dreamers album, the baby album, which the paper, they're made to complement each other. And you can see that on YouTube. So this was the baby, and then we have this left over. So we did another one. And well, you know how it goes. You always think you have enough, but you wish you had more. I'm trying to stick with what I had left so we can create this. and I can feel my teeth grinding. I just want to get some more paper, but I'm not going to do it because that's not fair to everybody else that's using what they've got left over. Yeah, I make 6x8 binders and the mini albums out of chipboard. I love both. I didn't used to like the binders, but I'm really liking them. Maybe just because it's something I haven't done before. But then I start building the mini albums, and I love that too. Okay, so we're going to put that in the center. And all the videos can be found in the playlist for each paper collection. So after last night, we have come to the conclusion, and if anybody out there has beagles or maybe dogs in general, we're going to start shutting them out of our bedroom at night. Wish me luck. I may be up at 1 o'clock in the morning doing videos with you guys just to keep my sanity. Beagles burrow, and they're terrible. Once they get used to a bed, they don't want to get out of a bed. And last night, we said that's enough. Our beagles, thank you, Diane, because you know how spoiled my beagles are. It's done. It's over. We're breaking up with them. They're sleeping in their beds out in the hall because they're naughty all night long. They try to kick us out of bed. Who has a beagle or a big dog you sleep with? Yes, I admit it. We sleep with a dog, but we have a king-size bed. We sleep with 3. That's why my bed's changed almost every day. They're not sleeping with us anymore. It's over. Wilbur and Charlotte are our problems. It's not Homer. All right, we'll do the decorating. Either tonight, we may have to go into Saturday, but that's okay. That's not bad, 1 week for a tutorial. Okay, so that's where we want that to be for now. So I'll put that back in the book, and we have one more of our envelopes or our plastic sleeves. And it would be the very last one. Oh, same at your house? Oh, yeah. That's it tonight. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly, but there's nothing we can do. We're done. So this one is your 3x4s. And one thing I've noticed I must have just either been being very careful because I have no, oh, well, here we go. That's why they go here. Well, they're going to go here. Or I'm going to use them for photo mats. Let's use our scraps first, okay? We'll keep these because we do have some of the things that we built that we want to have full pieces for. And what we're going to need is 4 3x4s. And let me see if this will work. This will work barely. Still have a 12x12. Let's see. I know, Annie, and no more. So right now I'm just going to set that down. Yeah, tonight it's over. And we got to stick with it this time. Okay, Wilbur was kennel trained. Okay, you know what we need? Before I cut this, we have that one page that I wasn't able to finish. And it's just 2 pages back. Because I cut the paper wrong. And I need that piece with our line so that it can be a journaling spot, and it's going to be 1 5/8 by 6. So I want this there. And I mostly want the writing, so I cut it from the right hand edge, and then I'll take another 1/8 off. We'll just take it to 1 1/2. We'll just trim it until it fits nice. Then you understand, Annie. I'm telling you, yeah, it's over. Okay, let's bring it down to this side. It looks a little off, but let's see. Maybe we want that one. Main thing is I want to be able to write on the bottom. Let me show you. So that's the original. What I'll do is I'll put the birthday cake here because I'm not crazy about that. But when we're using scraps, that's what we do. We still have room to write. So that works out good. We had, some of you do remember her that have been with me a long time. Her name was Journey. She was a Newfoundland mix. She was a big girl. And we had her, we used to shave her. You don't usually shave Newfies, but she'd get too hot, and she has to be clean. That's all there is to it. She would sleep with us. Sleeping with her at the bottom of our feet was the easiest thing compared to these beagles. Beagles burrow even in the summer. They want to be completely in the covers. Take my little one to the groomer. Oh, well, I'm glad that you were here. Yes, watch the replay. You can fast forward through the talking. She was easier to sleep with than these little beagles. These beagles are a nightmare because they fight over who wants to be where. Okay, let's get back to work here. So I'm going to put the polka dots here. Thanks for joining us. Okay, once again, you may have to trim it down just a little bit to fit into the pocket. Oh, but not that much. About 2 7/8, and you'll get a good fit. Okay, now there is some of that flowers that we just used, but I won't be using it again. So what I'm going to do is, this is the sheet that's taking the place of the baby months. So I use the back of the baby months, but I don't have it. So I'm going to cut it at 4 so I can get the 3. I need 3 of the 3-inch. You know what? I might go, let's see something. Well, they're not quite 3-inch. Okay, we're going to put this back together. instead of using this one. Those go on the top. There we go. So that's what I'm going to use. They sure do, Annie. And I had a black and white beagle. She didn't like the bed. She didn't like the covers. Never had trouble with her. I get Wilbur, Charlotte, and Homer. And they're spoiled. My husband's ready to sell all three. It won't happen, but he is. Okay, as soon as we put this back in, we still have some time. So we're going to go to page 1 and we're going to start. Cool. All the fun stuff. Now, before I do that, I do need my words. So we're going to be sorting through our chipboard words, if you've got those. My issue is I can't find them. So let's make our frames. I'll have them by tonight. Okay. Let me go through that with you real quick. Oh, let me put this back. So, as you know, 49 and Market with their collections, they do give us, I mean, you do get frames if you get the ephemera. This one just didn't have them. And I really wanted them. So I went through and I made my own frames. And I'll give you the sizes and I'll show you how we're going to do this. So first we're going to fussy cut out some frames. This one was the fussy cut. And then we're going to go through and just see how many I made. And let's go ahead and I'm going to show you how to make those. And I'm going to look one more time for my words. Because I had them in my hand this morning and we had to do some shipping. And then I put them down. And I don't know where I put them down at. So let's start here. I want to start by cutting this frame. And if you notice, though, if you want to use these flags, they kind of put it off center. So I just cut for a minute. I'm going to cut to the flags because those are nice to use. And I'm just going to cut those off by hand and set them aside. Now this we are going to use. It gets used on the cover. In the meantime, let's go ahead and cut our frame out using our cutter. And I do cut these out, so you want to keep a hold of those. So see, this isn't so bad. Now, another trick is I'm going to put it in my cutter in the white, push down, Go slow. Push down. Don't be in a hurry. Bye-bye, Annie. Thanks for joining. Okay. Just make sure you're in the white. Go slow. This is the one that's still attached. It's a lot easier than getting your scissors in there. Now, it left a little bit of a white border. Totally up to you if you want to cut that away or just ink it. I think I'm just going to leave it. So for up here. So I'm just going to cut those at an angle. And I can get my scissors in there a lot easier. You know what? When I first saw these, I was like, I'm not cutting those. But it's a challenge that all of a sudden I was like, yeah, I am, because I'm going to use those. We need them. And when you need something, it's not so hard to get get when you realize, well, either I do the work or I don't use them. Okay, just pull that back. These are nice heavy frames. That's also what helps. Okay, I'll be on mute for just a minute while we're cutting. Instead, you guys got to hear the whole phone call. Sorry about that. I took it off the screen instead of mute. So did you guys hear? If you ordered the card kits, they are shipping today. Well, that's good that you guys got to hear. And boy, are they cute. Lori's done a good job. She had a little trouble, but she got them out on time. They're going out today. Her Cricut broke. So she had to get a new one because it does all that cutting for her. Okay, we are going to cut the center out. Oh, you guys didn't hear a thing? Oh, I meant to just mute. I didn't do anything but cut my frame out, guys. Yeah, it was just, she was wondering about her card kit for October, and they are shipping out today. So I am just going to slowly go around again. I want to get a little bit closer to the frame this time if I can. May have to hand cut it, but that's okay. I did use this, I believe. So we'll just put it in our use pile. Okay, let's trim the inside. I did, Monica. I just have to do the video this weekend. I got it made. It's for Barely Art Glue's Craftmas event, and they will be putting tickets out, but I think it's free that you guys will be able to join. And we also had to get our commercial done, and we had to reformat it because it was supposed to be in a different format. And poor Lexi, she's like, I'm gonna go crazy. I said, I know, welcome to the world. There's still a business side. You know, there's a business side to everything. And those who, like Lexi, have just entered it, they're like, what happened to the fun part? Well, there's a fun part and then there's a business part. You have to do both. Well, I did. And so I'm going to be using Gingerbread Village for my little project. And it's a Christmas planner. I know the event's going to start like December 8th. I need to do a different planner for you all at Country Craft Creations, but you guys, I'm pretty sure it's a free event for the community. Thank you. I love that paper. And it turned, and I used the brown cardstock. I'm just hooked on that brown cardstock. Okay. So I want to ink these all up really quick on the edges. If you're following along with me and you do have your little celebrations chipboard words, go ahead tonight and sort those. Sort those with your cursive words, your block words, and your little banner pieces. If you get those sorted, because I'll have mine found by tonight. They're sitting here. We must have moved a box when we were shipping some things. And then you'll have those all ready. All right, now we're going to set those aside and we're going to make some frames. I also used some of the packaging for the frames. I used packaging and cardstock, and it didn't matter really what cardstock, because you just want to cut strips. And what I did was 1/2-inch strips. So I want you to use scraps, okay? And what I'm going to do is just cut this. I'm just going to cut this whole piece to start in 1/2-inch strips. Likes to get stuck. So these are going to be 1/2-inch strips. Is that one 1/2 inch or a little short? A little short. Next thing I did, so my first two frames are going to be 6.5 by 4.5. So I want two 6.5-inch pieces, and then two 4.5. So there, you'll need two strips of 1/2 by 12. Oh, and it doesn't have to be by 12. This just happens to be that 12-inch sheet. So if you're, whatever scraps you're using, you may just be using shorter scraps, and that's what I did, and I will do here in a minute. I'll cut 6.5 and 4.5, and I'll give you the different size frames that I made. Now, if you don't want frames, my cutter went in the garbage. If you don't want frames, you know what? That's okay. You can just do the white matting cardstock. But once you see how easy the frame is to make, they're not hard at all. Okay. And if you want to ink them beforehand, I didn't. I ink them after, but I just chose, of course, my two 6.5 left and right. Okay. You'll want a pencil for this. So I just lay my 4.5 inch on the top, and then I went from this corner, which is the left-hand corner, to the inside corner, and I drew a straight line as possible. Don't worry, it doesn't have to be perfect. Now, the only thing that does have to match is your angle. Okay, so don't go like from here to there, because we want to start in that right-hand corner to the inside corner. See how my lines look? And then I just took my scissors from the corner and I followed the line and just do a snip. Just make sure you go into the corner. And then if you have to erase anything, now again, we're going to match this in, because that's our inside. So also match the top, and then that inside angle. We'll snip off what's on the outside edge. See, it's too long, and that's fine. Once we get that corner, we just snip it, and then we have a frame. And my adhesive, this bottom corner is what needs to match that inside edge. So I found it is easier if you lay them down. Let's see how mine's kind of cockeyed. It's fine. We're going to straighten it up with the bottom. Then I'll just snip that little edge off. Now the bottom. Maybe I got that one just a little too much off. It did. That's better. I'll just have to re-snip there. Okay, take your bottom, slip it underneath, and we need to draw those angles again. Oh, it goes on top. Sorry. Now for the bottom, I'll show you what I did. Always go from the inside out. Inside out, okay? If you remember inside out, you'll never mess that up. So this one's going to get glued down first. And always clip up into that corner. Then this shorter edge I call it, is what matches to the inside of our frame. Once you make a couple, you'll be like, oh, this is cool. You'll be making them for all your projects. Because you can make them any size you want. So this one's going to hold a 4x6. Now, I glue that down. Oh, perfect. So it lined up perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't. You have to adjust it. Now from the corner, just follow your pencil mark and erase as needed. You can also cut these at different sides. But I'm matching the inside to that edge. Now these guys are, well, I guess they are 1/2 inch. Then just clip anything that's hanging over. And look, we have our own frames. So that one's a 4.5 by 6.5. Ooh, goodness, I'm so sorry. I just knocked you guys in the head. The next one is that one. That one we just fussy cut. Oh, let me go back because, nope. See, that one's the fussy cut. Now this little guy, and he was made with our inside, it's made with packaging. So this one is 3x4. Let me see how many 3x4s you need to make. One. Checking those first. So I know we have some. Is it just, so we'll make 2 3x4s because I know there's one on the back of, I'm just not seeing it. It's on the back of a 4x6, I thought. There it is. No, that's the one I measured. Well, you can make extras. It doesn't hurt to make extras. Then we have to make, so we got a 3x4 to make, and we'll make that here in just a minute. Then we have a 4.5 by 5.5. So see, it's fun. You can make so many different sizes. So I'm going to make a 4.5 by 5.5. And I just have these guys that I'd cut. So let's make another one. So we want 2 5.5s and 1 4.5. And as we're working tonight, if we run across any that I've missed making, we'll just make them, because now you can just grab your scraps and make your frames. So my 5.5 is the sides, my 4.5 is the top. And you do want to decide what side you want to use first. Okay, so we're going to lay down the top piece again. Upper left corner to the inside. Remember, outside to inside. And always try to end in your corner. So how many of you already made your frames? You knew how to make these? Okay, let's match the top. Make sure it's straight. Again, matching the top and the inside. Get it there before the glue dries. Okay. Oh, you haven't started yet. Well, okay. Turn it this way. And again, we'll go outside to inside. Now that's probably not very straight. But when I glue it down, that will lay flat. Well, let me tell you, I wanted frames. So I decided we're making frames. It's like, we got to have frames. Now that I'm so used to using them with 49 a Market. It's upside down. Don't put it on upside down. I almost did. So I'm glad that happened too, because I'm going to show you. Actually, I didn't get it all the way to the bottom, so I'm just going to trim it. That's the other thing that's so nice about these. If you don't get that exact fit and you have a little sticking out over the top or bottom, you just trim it. And then look, I think that's pretty exciting. Okay, let's do a 3x4. Let's get something maybe that looks a little different. Let's use this one. I'll cut a couple more tabs. So what we're going to do is we're just going to cut some more 1/2-inch strips, and I'll make a 3x4 with you. So we're going to probably be able to make 2 3x4s. Yep. And I think that will make it to the 3. Awesome. So we only need 2 strips. And then after I make this one, I think you guys got it. Oh, I'll see you. Yes, I will see you tonight at 5:30. And then I'm going to go through and I'll make some more 3x4s. There's one that we don't make until we put it down anyway. And if there's any more, we'll just make the 1 or 2 as we're going, because you can see how quick you can make these. So we want 2 4-inch, 2 3-inch. Now again, just overlap outside to inside. Main thing is getting it straight. Outside to inside. Thank you. You too, Monica. Let's add our glue here. Okay, that one has some erasing to do. So go ahead, and I would make a couple more if you're at this point. Make yourself some more frames that are 3x4, 4x5s, and they don't have to be exactly the size I'm using because you may want to do them a little bit different. Like I said, during the live, the next tutorial, if we need to make any more, I'll just make them real quick. Trim off any edges. Well, hello. And even things up, and then you've got your frames. So that's where I'm going to leave you guys. And if you want to play around and make some more of your frames, try different sizes. It can be, it doesn't have to be the exact same size that I'm using tonight, but if we need to make some more, we will. So thank you guys, and I'll see you tonight at 5:30. Have a great weekend if you're not joining us. Otherwise, be at the party at 5:30. See you then. Bye-bye.